Every rider has seen a motorcycle that looks incredible in the showroom, only to realize later it wasn't worth the money. Some bikes promise performance, comfort, and style, but by 2026, a few of them are proving to be some of the worst deals you can buy. Today, we're breaking down 17 motorcycles that simply don't make sense anymore. Whether it's outdated specs, painful comfort, or resale values that collapse the moment you leave the dealership. And if you're thinking about buying one of them, you might want to hear this list first. Number 17. Harley-Davidson Street 500. The Street 500 was supposed to be Harley-Davidson's gateway motorcycle, a smaller cruiser meant to bring new riders into the brand without the intimidating price of a full-size American V-twin. When it launched in 2015, the bike cost a little under $7,000. Power came from a liquid-cooled Revolution X engine just shy of 500 cubic centimeters, producing roughly 29 pound-feet of torque. It looked like a Harley, carried the badge, and promised a simple way into the cruiser lifestyle. But the market didn't see it that way. Veteran Harley riders ignored it because it didn't feel like a traditional Milwaukee machine. The sound was different, the size felt smaller, and the personality never quite matched the brand's heavyweight image. New riders had a different reaction. They walked into dealerships, compared spec sheets, and noticed something uncomfortable. For nearly the same money, motorcycles like the Honda Rebel 500 or Kawasaki Ninja 400 offered better performance, lighter handling, and reputations for rock-solid reliability. And if you think losing value this quickly is bad, wait until we reach number 10 later in the countdown, where a perfectly good touring motorcycle became nearly worthless for a completely different reason. Then depreciation finished the job. By 2026, many used Street 500 models sell for around $4,000, sometimes even less if they came from riding schools. Thousands of training bikes entered the secondhand market, pushing prices down even further. If you're the kind of rider who wants to avoid wasting thousands on the wrong motorcycle, hit that like button, drop a quick comment, and subscribe. That small action is exactly what helps this channel keep digging into the bikes most people regret buying, so the rest of us don't have to learn the hard way. Instead of becoming the perfect introduction to the Harley family, Street 500 quietly turned into one of the weakest investments the company ever produced, and unfortunately for buyers, the next motorcycle on this list managed to lose value even faster. Number 16. Ducati Scrambler 62. Ducati believed this motorcycle would open the door to an entirely new generation of riders. The concept sounded simple. Take the fashionable retro Scrambler design, shrink the engine, lower the price, and suddenly the Italian brand would have the perfect beginner-friendly Ducati. When the 62 arrived in 2016, the price tag landed around $7,995 in the United States. Buyers received a 399 cubic centimeter AIR-cooled L-twin, producing about 40 horsepower, paired with a 6-speed transmission and the same stylish Scrambler design language that made the bigger models so popular. At first glance, it absolutely worked. The bike had personality, wide handlebars, a minimalist tank, and that unmistakable Italian flair made it look far more expensive than it actually was. But once riders compared specifications, the illusion faded quickly. Then depreciation stepped in. By 2026, many clean examples sell for roughly $5,000 to $6,000, sometimes less depending on condition. The Scrambler 62 proves style alone can't protect a motorcycle from becoming worthless. It looks fantastic outside a cafe, but the maintenance bills quickly remind owners they paid for the Ducati badge without Ducati-level performance. That frustration pushes riders toward the next bike, a cruiser built around classic American torque and attitude, but with a flaw you'll notice every time the fuel gauge drops. Number 15. Harley-Davidson 48. The Harley-Davidson 48 proves something important about motorcycle depreciation. A bike does not need to be unreliable to lose serious value. Sometimes style alone can quietly destroy resale. The 48 arrived in 2010 as part of the long-running Sportster family. It used the proven 1,202 cubic centimeter Evolution V-twin, an AIR-cooled engine famous for strong low-end torque and that unmistakable Harley pulse. Mechanically, the bike was solid. Owners rarely complained about the engine itself, but everything around that engine told a different story. Take the 2015 model year. A new 48 carried a sticker price around $10,749 before dealer fees. For that kind of money, buyers received basic suspension, minimal technology, and a fuel tank that held just 2.1 gallons. That tiny peanut tank looked fantastic in photos. On real roads, it turned longer rides into a constant search for gas stations. Many riders started looking for fuel after barely 80 miles. Comfort did not help either. The slammed suspension looked aggressive, but the short travel punished riders on rough pavement. Fast forward to 2026, and the market tells the truth. Many used 48 models now sell between $5,000 and $7,000. That is roughly half the original value gone. The bike delivered attitude but not practicality. And when buyers start comparing what else they can get for the same used money, the 48 suddenly becomes a tough sell. So that's 3 motorcycles already proving that a good reputation doesn't always survive real-world ownership. Now we're curious. Have you ever owned a bike that looked amazing at first, but turned into a disappointment after a few months? Drop the model name in the comments and tell us what went wrong. Riders researching their next purchase are reading those experiences right now, and your story might save someone from making a very expensive mistake. For riders who got tired of that limitation, the search naturally moved in a completely different direction. Instead of 2 wheels and style compromises, the next machine steps forward with 3 wheels, touring comfort, and a promise of stability. The problem? That unusual design created a new kind of headache entirely. Number 14. Can-Am Spyder RT. Some motorcycles slowly lose value over time. Others fall off a financial cliff the moment they roll out of the dealership. The Can-Am Spyder RT lands somewhere in the middle, but the numbers still hurt. When this 3-wheeled touring machine arrived in the early 2010s, it was pitched as the ultimate long-distance luxury ride. Heated grips, cruise control, a tall touring windshield, giant storage compartments, and a plush passenger throne made it look like a highway sofa with wheels. And the price reflected that ambition. A mid-decade Spyder RT started at roughly $23,000 in the United States, while higher trims climbed well past $26,000 depending on equipment. For that kind of money, buyers expected touring bike resale strength. That didn't happen. Today, many early to mid-decade Spyder RT models trade hands between $9,000 and $14,000, with higher mileage machines dipping even lower. So what went wrong? Part of the issue is identity. The Spyder lives in a strange gray zone. It isn't really a motorcycle, but it's not a car either. That shrinks the pool of interested buyers immediately. Then there's complexity. Advanced electronics, traction systems, and a complicated front suspension make repairs expensive once warranties expire. Add nearly 900 pounds of weight and unconventional steering, and plenty of riders decide a traditional touring bike makes more sense. The Spyder RT tried to reinvent touring with an extra wheel and piles of technology. Instead, it often feels caught between a motorcycle and a car, and not always in a good way. That awkward middle ground sends riders looking for something simpler. The next machine heads back to traditional adventure territory with a famous German badge. Number 13. BMW F850GS. Adventure motorcycles usually have a reputation for holding their value. They are practical, versatile, and often owned by riders who keep them for years. That reputation is exactly why the F850GS surprises so many people. When this middleweight adventure bike arrived in 2019, it looked like the perfect balance between capability and technology. Power came from an 853 cubic centimeter parallel twin, producing about 90 horsepower. Riders also received ride-by-wire throttle, selectable riding modes, traction control, and BMW's large-color TFT display. And of course, the BMW badge carried serious prestige. The problem was the price. In the United States, the starting cost sat around $13,895. Once buyers added popular options like heated grips, cruise control, and luggage mounts, many bikes rolled out of dealerships closer to $15,000 or more. The F850GS delivers the adventure look and the BMW badge riders want. But once the warranty disappears, so does the comfort of those ownership costs. That hesitation opens the door for the next machine, a larger British adventure tourer, promising even more capability in a segment where competition crushes resale value. Number 12. Triumph Tiger 1200. Adventure motorcycles usually hold their value better than almost any other category. Riders pile on miles, keep them for years, and strong reputations tend to protect resale prices. The Triumph Tiger 1200 breaks that pattern. When Triumph introduced the modern Tiger 1200 lineup in the late 2010s, it was aimed squarely at the king of the segment, the BMW R1250GS. On paper, the formula looked strong. A 1,215 cubic centimeter inline-3 engine produced roughly 139 horsepower, paired with shaft drive, electronic suspension options, cruise control, and full touring capability. It sounded like a premium adventure machine ready to challenge the class leader. The price reflected that ambition. A 2019 Tiger 1200 XRT carried a sticker around $20,500, while the more off-road focused XCA pushed closer to $21,700 before accessories. Most buyers ended up spending well over $22,000. The Tiger 1200 offers impressive touring comfort and engineering. But in today's brutal adventure market, high prices and fast depreciation quickly catch up with it. So performance-hungry riders start looking elsewhere. The next machine shifts the focus away from exploration and toward raw Austrian speed. Number 11. KTM 1290 Super Duke GT. Sometimes a motorcycle is simply too extreme for the job it's trying to do. That's the strange position the KTM 1290 Super Duke GT ended up in. When it arrived, the idea sounded incredible. Take KTM's savage naked superbike engine, add touring comfort, and create a machine that could cross states during the day and terrorize canyon roads before sunset. Under the tank sat a monstrous 1,290 cubic centimeter LC8V twin, producing well over 170 horsepower. That's superbike power hiding inside a machine with cruise control, electronic suspension, heated grips, wind protection, and luggage options. In the United States, a late 20-teens model carried a price close to $19,000 once most buyers finished signing paperwork. By 2026, many early examples trade between $10,000 and $13,000 depending on mileage. The problem isn't performance. The bike is ferocious. The problem is identity. Hardcore sport riders usually want lighter track weapons. Touring riders often prefer smoother, calmer machines built for long highway days. At this point in the list, a pattern is starting to show. Some of these bikes aren't terrible machines, they're just terrible deals in 2026. So let's hear from you. Which matters more to you when choosing a motorcycle? Performance, comfort, or long-term value? Share your answer in the comments because the answers riders give here usually reveal what manufacturers should actually be building next. The Super Duke GT is outrageously fast and packed with electronics, but long-term ownership worries, especially reliability and repair costs, push used prices down quickly. That concern sends buyers toward the next machine, a big American touring cruiser built for highway comfort. The twist? Its biggest problem has nothing to do with engineering. Number 10. Victory Cross Country. Sometimes a motorcycle becomes a terrible investment for a reason no engineer can fix. Not because it breaks down, not because it rides poorly, but because the company behind it disappears. That is exactly what happened to Victory. When Polaris Inc. launched the Victory brand, the mission was ambitious: challenge Harley-Davidson in the heavyweight touring market. The Cross Country quickly became one of the brand's strongest contenders. Powered by a massive 1,731 cubic centimeter Freedom V twin, producing about 113 pound-feet of torque, it delivered smooth highway power, comfortable ergonomics, and serious long-distance capability. A 2015 model carried a price close to $18,999. Then the ground shifted. In 2017, Polaris abruptly shut down the entire Victory brand. Overnight, uncertainty flooded the used market. By 2026, many cross-country bikes sell between $7,000 and $10,000. And believe it or not, disappearing manufacturers aren't even the biggest threat to resale value in this video, because the motorcycle sitting at number 1 loses value for a completely different and far more expensive reason. The cross-country was actually a strong touring bike. The problem wasn't the machine, it was the brand disappearing, which crushed resale confidence overnight. So riders turned toward the next step in American touring, a bagger from the most famous cruiser brand in the world. But popularity creates its own problem. Number 9, Harley-Davidson Street Glide Special. Few motorcycles represent the American touring dream like the Harley-Davidson Street Glide Special. A massive front fairing, stretch saddlebags, and a big Milwaukee 8V twin give it that unmistakable highway presence. At first glance, it looks like the kind of motorcycle that should hold value forever. Then the numbers show up. Take the 2019 Street Glide Special. The sticker price landed around $27,999 before taxes, setup fees, and accessories. Add popular upgrades like exhaust, seats, and luggage, and many buyers walked out spending well over $30,000. That is serious money for a touring bike. Now fast forward to 2026. Many used examples from the late 20-teens sell between $16,000 and $20,000, sometimes even less with higher mileage. That is easily $10,000 gone. The issue in 2026 isn't the bike itself, it's the market. Harley sold so many of them that the used listings are overflowing and prices keep falling. That saturation pushes riders toward the next machine, a globe-trotting adventure legend. Unfortunately, its complexity brings a different financial risk. Number 8, BMW R1250GS Adventure. Now this one surprises a lot of riders, because the BMW R1250GS Adventure is practically a legend. It's the globe-trotting machine you see crossing deserts, climbing mountain passes, and disappearing into places most motorcycles never reach. Capability was never the issue. The bike runs BMW's 1254 cubic centimeter boxer twin with shift cam technology, producing roughly 136 horsepower and more than 100 pound-feet of torque. Add electronic suspension, advanced rider aids, and a massive fuel tank built for serious distance, and you get one of the most sophisticated adventure machines ever built. But sophistication comes with a price. Most buyers in the United States left dealerships spending well over $20,000 once options were added. By 2026, many used examples sell closer to the mid-teens, depending on mileage. That's a painful drop. Rapid model updates, expensive service, and complex electronics make second-hand buyers cautious, which is ironic. The bike still conquers continents, but financially the fall in value stings. And the next motorcycle proves something even stranger. Popularity alone doesn't protect resale. Number 7, Ducati Panigale V4. Now let's talk about a motorcycle that looks like a dream, but can quietly become a financial nightmare. When Ducati introduced the Panigale V4, it was marketed as the closest thing to a MotoGP machine you could legally ride on the street. The bike packed a 1,103 cubic centimeter V4 engine producing well over 200 horsepower, backed by traction control, launch control, and advanced race electronics. On paper, it sounded unstoppable. The price matched the hype. A new Panigale V4 carried a sticker around $27,795, while higher trim versions pushed far beyond $30,000 once options and dealer fees entered the picture. Then the used market delivered a reality check. By 2026, many early Panigale V4 models sell in the low to mid-$20,000 range. That means thousands vanish in value within just a few years. Extreme performance is thrilling, but it comes with expensive maintenance and limited practicality. And when buyers start thinking logically instead of emotionally, resale demand shrinks fast. They move exactly toward the next machine, a massive touring trike that takes highway luxury to an extreme. Number 6, Harley-Davidson Tri-Glide Ultra. Here is a lesson many riders learn the hard way. Bigger and more expensive does not automatically mean smarter. The Harley-Davidson Tri-Glide Ultra arrived as Harley's ultimate highway cruiser, a massive three-wheeled touring machine built for riders who wanted comfort, stability, and serious road presence. Power comes from the Milwaukee 8114 V-twin, delivering roughly 93 horsepower and about 120 pound-feet of torque. It is tuned for relaxed interstate cruising, not aggressive riding. Buyers also get cruise control, reverse gear, a large trunk, and a full infotainment system. The problem appears when the numbers catch up. A new Tri-Glide Ultra can easily push past $40,000 once freight charges and dealer fees are included. And while we're talking about price, performance, and practicality, think about what surprises you the most so far on this list. Which motorcycle shocked you with its failure to deliver value? Drop it in the comments below. Your experience might save another rider thousands of dollars. And if you appreciate this kind of honest breakdown that saves you from costly mistakes, like the video and subscribe. All that said, the limitations of the Tri-Glide Ultra push attention toward the next machine on our list, another three-wheel cruiser taking a very different approach, and it might challenge everything you think you know about comfort and value. Number 5, Can-Am Spyder F3 Limited. This is a machine that tried to reinvent the motorcycle experience. The Can-Am Spyder F3 Limited. When it launched, this three-wheeled touring cruiser looked futuristic. 2 wheels in front, 1 in back, and stability systems designed to remove the challenge of balancing a traditional bike. For many riders, it promised the freedom of motorcycling with far less intimidation. Power comes from a Rotax 1,330 cubic centimeter, inline-3 engine producing roughly 115 horsepower and about 96 pound-feet of torque. On paper, it sounded like the perfect long-distance tour. The price suggested the same ambition. A new Spyder F3 Limited easily climbs past $33,000 once fees and accessories are added. The Spyder F3 Limited promises futuristic tech and stability, but complexity and maintenance worries scare off second-hand buyers. And that realization pushes riders toward the next direction in motorcycle excess. A machine that abandons complicated electronics and instead relies on something much simpler, an absolutely gigantic engine. Number 4, Triumph Rocket 3. Now we are getting dangerously close to the top 3, and the financial damage only gets worse from here. At number 4 sits one of the most outrageous machines ever built, the Triumph Rocket 3. This motorcycle is famous for one thing above everything else: sheer mechanical excess. When Triumph Motorcycles launched the modern Rocket 3 lineup, the headline was impossible to ignore. The bike carries the largest production motorcycle engine on the planet, a massive 2,458 cubic centimeter inline-3 that produces roughly 165 horsepower and an earth-moving 163 pound-feet of torque. That torque figure rivals many sports cars. In a straight line, the Rocket feels like a freight train leaving the station. Brutal acceleration, endless thrust, and a riding experience that feels completely different from anything else on 2 wheels. But extreme machines usually come with extreme consequences. A new Rocket 3 easily climbs well past $27,000 once fees and accessories are included. Fast forward a few years and many used examples trade hands closer to the high teens. The Rocket 3 makes an unforgettable first impression. That colossal 2,500 cubic centimeter engine delivers absurd torque and undeniable presence. But once the novelty wears off, many riders discover the downside of owning such a massive machine: huge weight, intimidating size, and a level of practicality that doesn't exactly scream everyday usability. For riders who still crave outrageous power but want something a little more legendary in the performance world, the spotlight naturally shifts to the next muscle bike that helped define the category decades ago. Number 3, Yamaha V-Max. We have officially entered the top 3, and this is where the financial pain becomes real. When Yamaha Motor Company released the modern V-Max in 2009, it was pure mechanical insanity. The motorcycle was built around a gigantic 1,679 cubic centimeter liquid cooled V4 producing nearly 200 horsepower and about 123 pound-feet of torque. At the time, very few production motorcycles on Earth could match its brutal straight-line acceleration, and Yamaha priced it like a halo machine. Early models carried a sticker close to $17,990 in the United States, while later versions climbed to about $18,999 before production ended in 2020. After taxes and dealer fees, many buyers were spending roughly $20,000. Today, the market looks very different. Clean late-model V-Max motorcycles typically sell between $10,000 and $13,000. The V-Max is famous for one thing: brutal acceleration. Twist the throttle and it launches like a rocket, which explains why it became an icon among muscle bikes. But once the adrenaline fades, many owners realize it offers very little practicality for daily riding. Not great for touring, not ideal for commuting, and not exactly comfortable either. And when riders decide they want performance with true racing pedigree, their attention quickly turns toward the next machine, a superbike born directly from the track and refined by Italian racing obsession. Number 2, Aprilia RSV4. This is where the financial damage becomes genuinely brutal. Sitting here is one of the most celebrated superbikes ever built, the Aprilia RSV4. On the road and on the track, this machine is a masterpiece. Engineers at Aprilia designed it with pure racing DNA. At its heart sits a 1,099 cubic centimeter V4 engine producing roughly 217 horsepower. The acceleration is savage, the handling razor sharp, and the electronics package rivals full race machines. Traction control, launch control, wheelie control, multiple ride modes, it is all there. The price reflects that pedigree. Depending on the trim level, buyers often spend well over $20,000 once dealership fees and options are included. Then the resale reality hits. Within a few years, many used examples fall into the mid-teens. For a motorcycle that once felt like an exotic race weapon, that drop is painful. And before we reveal the final motorcycle on this list, are you enjoying this breakdown? Hit the like button, and if you want to support the channel even more, consider becoming a member. Members get early access to upcoming videos and help us keep producing deep dives like this one. All right, let's reveal the final motorcycle that simply doesn't make sense in 2026. Number 1, BMW K1600 GT and GTL. The worst depreciation disaster on this list belongs to the BMW K1600 GT and its luxury-focused sibling, the BMW K1600 GTL. These motorcycles are not bad machines. In fact, they are some of the most technically impressive touring bikes ever built. BMW designed the K1600 platform to dominate the high-end touring segment with cutting-edge engineering and long-distance comfort. At the center of the bike sits a remarkable engine, a 1,649 cubic centimeter inline-six producing about 160 horsepower and roughly 132 pound-feet of torque. The power delivery is incredibly smooth, and on the highway the bike feels almost effortless. The equipment list is just as impressive. Electronic suspension adjustment, adaptive headlights, heated seats, cruise control, navigation systems, and enormous luggage capacity turn it into a rolling luxury machine. But luxury comes with a brutal price. New models often leave dealerships costing well over $30,000 once popular option packages are added. Fast forward to 2026, and many earlier examples sell between $14,000 and $18,000. Some older units drop even lower. Complex electronics, expensive dealer service, and a shrinking pool of buyers make resale difficult. Meanwhile, competitors like the Honda Goldwing maintain stronger long-term demand. So while the K1600 remains an engineering masterpiece, the market delivered a harsh verdict. Sometimes the most sophisticated motorcycle on the road becomes the fastest way to watch thousands of dollars quietly disappear.